Rightio, live from the Export Beer Garden studio. This is the Agenda podcast for let me check the date, dearie me. It is Friday the 17th of April.
The Agenda podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Right, let's do it. Isaac Silly, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Meshy.
How are you, mate? All right?
Yeah, feeling good, feeling great. I heard, Friday, always vibes are always high on a Friday. So
yeah, they are.
Feeling like I'm going to come into this and just ready to soak it all in.
Yep, no, that's a good shout. Today we're going to be running a bit of a Yours Please Omnibus. We'll play the sting in just a moment, but we are down a couple of men. G Lane and Joe Jury are currently in the air. They are on their way to Hong Kong for the Hong Kong Sevens.
Jeez.
Those boys won't sit still, eh?
Nah, they're everywhere.
I saw them. They're currently. I don't even know. Currently, Joe Jury is one of those guys that likes to get to the airport about 8 hours early.
So yeah.
Yeah, he was talking to G Lane yesterday about G Lane. Well, what time are you going to get to the airport? You know, it's a 10 o'clock flight. Oh, I'd like to be there probably 5, maybe 4:30ish. And G Lane's like, oh, what? What could you possibly be wanting to do there? And then you realise that he's just keen to crank the Quarry Lounge
definitely.
Beers. But I think they are a couple deep and they are in the air. So hopefully we'll hear from them at some stage. They did promise that they were going to release a podcast from across there at some stage. But the B team's in, you and me.
Absolutely.
Here we are. Eve's running the buttons today, so we're going to run a bit of a Yours Please Omnibus, if that's all right. So go on, Eve, play that intro.
Yours, please.
The state legislature approved its omnibus.
No public input from doctors or medical professionals in the omnibus.
Well, in the area of compliance, which is a really large part of the omnibus.
Yeah, it is. It's a massive part of the omnibus is the compliance, and we'd love to hear from you. We've got about 19 Yours Pleases to get through today, Isaac.
Oh, there we go. And I do love an omnibus.
Yeah, you do?
Yep, I love an omnibus. You know, it was a bad day on a Sunday when the only good thing you could do was watch the Shortland Street omnibus.
Yeah, that and the home and away.
Yeah, terrible times. But
were you a home and away guy or not really?
I was kind of a home and away guy when the Brax Brax was in it.
Yeah, I remember Brax.
He's a nice little hunk of meat.
Yeah.
And
Who else was
Alf
in there?
Stewart, classic. If you ever see a burner account on any socials or anything, it's likely me.
Yeah.
And under my Alf Stewart persona.
What? Alf Stewart has been. How long has Alf Stewart been doing that show? I'm gonna have a look. Alf.
He's
Stewart.
got to be a part of the furniture there
He has
at this
to be.
point. Alf and who was the girl? Irene.
Oh, the cafe owner.
Irene, yeah. Once a baddie, but you've seen her age, and that's quite a sad thing to see.
She's got to touch the Briscoes ladies about her.
Oh, 100%. She could bloody clean the house down, and not just because she's a female, of course.
No, I didn't say that. A bit
Well,
offensive,
I
but
was just making sure. Just making sure.
no, that's good.
But do love an omnibus and do love a home and away.
Well, we've got 19 Yours Pleases to get through today. It'll be interesting to hear what we've got. This is also quite good timing because there's been an outcry recently for a new segment, actually, Isaac. I was talking to you about it pre-show. Based around things that you say in the office, there was a story told recently where you shamed a fellow colleague for, racially profiling you.
Yeah.
And you wanted to make that clear to the rest of the office?
Well, it's these little sort of injustices that go unchecked.
Yeah.
And I thought about being in a predominantly white-dominated space.
For sure, yeah.
I thought, when someone tries to put me down for the mere pigment of my skin, I'm going to say something. And that's just directly taking a page out of MLK, Martin Luther King. Me and him,
Boys?
similar.
Yeah.
I could definitely get down with MLK. If he was working at NZME, I think we'd probably be best mates.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying.
Yeah,
But
lend
if
me
it
your
makes you-
ears.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm outnumbered today in the studio.
Oh, yeah, we got another brown brother. How does it feel? Now I'm putting the pressure on you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, has there been anything that's been said in the office this week that you'd like to let people know about? Because people have been asking. Look, there's been names thrown around. I can't remember what people have suggested, but I think it just goes along the vibe of what is the wildest thing Isaac Silly has said in the office this week.
Yeah.
Anything that's kind of concerned you this week around maybe any kind of racial profiling or...
No racial profiling this week. I did have a question,
Oh, it's a
however.
good week then.
No, great week. And I think it's after the company-wide email that the CEO sent out
Yeah,
maybe a couple of weeks ago. And everybody's just fallen into line.
that's good.
So I'll take this week, but who knows? Monday, things might happen over the weekend. Price of gas is going up ever so slightly, and what's the best thing to do when the cost of living is going up? make a brown guy feel bad. So Monday is going to... Monday I could come into a storm. But I'd like to say this, though. I don't say anything too unprofessional in the office.
No.
I merely just voice my opinion.
Okay,
and if you wanna slam a man for voicing his opinion,
yeah,
we're done.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, well said, well presented. Let's hear the first one of the day. By the way, if you do want to hit the microphone button on the iHeartradio app, we'd love to hear from you, especially if it's for the first time. But if it's not, we'd just as likely love to hear from you. The first one of the day. Go on then. Yours, please.
I'm talking to the man in the coach box. I'm asking him to change his ways. Don't put him at halfback but a 5'8". If you want to make the Wasps a winning team, you got to take that boy and put him in his place.
Tune.
Very topical.
Yeah, it is.
Obviously,
topical.
with the Michael Jackson film coming out next week.
Oh, yeah. How do you feel?
Sorry, you go.
No, you go, actually. I was about to back myself into a cul-de-sac.
Oh, well, I feel great about Michael Jackson, actually.
Do you?
Yeah, serves actually both of us. He'd be a lovely member, a lovely addition to the office as well if he was still around kicking. But very topical with Luke Metcalf.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, we don't have to have thoughts about it right now because he's injured again, eh?
Yeah.
Is he out this week?
Out this week, yep.
How long's he out for?
I think he's out for up to 4, they're saying, so 2 more weeks after this one.
Well, it makes Webby's decision-making a little bit easier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's been, look, we won 3 in a row, we came back and we lost 1. I feel bad for Lukey Met. He didn't deserve that. He definitely deserves to be in the squad, doesn't he?
He deserves to be in the...
So what was the lovely Michael Jackson parody there that we got? By the way, great tune, Man in the Mirror. Love it when the chorus cranks in. About the 4th, 5th chorus. Song's a bit long, whatever.
Yeah.
Not a massive fan of a song that goes more than 4 minutes. That's probably the Radio Hideki days in me speaking. Jesus, Stairway to Heaven, we've hit it enough times. Purple Rain, my God. Can we get a radio edit on that bitch? Where was I going with that? Lukey Met.
Yeah.
So what's he after?
He wants Coach Webby to put Luke Metcalf at 6 instead of the 7. But if we're just calling it down the middle, if you put feelings to the side, black and white, the games Metcalf has played this year, Warriors have lost. The games he hasn't played, they've won.
And can I just say it don't matter if you're black or white?
It doesn't matter if you're black or white, because then on the same side, on the other side of the coin, Ali Leotoa, the games that he's played, the Warriors have won. The games that he hasn't, they've lost. And that doesn't matter if he's black or white.
Next one. Yours, please. Here we go. One.
Jeez.
Yeah, get it down here, boy.
Empty. All right, Blake Dawson nominate the Pants Man.
Yep.
Lung from the Tradies 11.
Oh, Lung.
And Kyle Dovey, the Bay Oval's groundskeeper. I'm going to follow it up with this, though.
Cheers, Blake Dawson. Appreciate that. A couple of deep cuts there. The first one being the Pants Man. Yeah, no doubt he'll get onto that buff pretty quickly. He's a fairly professional unit, though, these days, isn't he? Pants Man.
Yeah, he's taken a conservative approach since moving across the ditch. I do still think he'll very much get amongst it.
Okay, that's good. Pants Man, get in touch on the Yours Please function. Buff your beer and then nominate a couple of people. That'd be great. The next one that he then moved on to was Lung from the Tradies 11 back in the day. Yeah, Lung's got a buff in him, that's for sure. He'd make light work if he can. And then Kyle Dovey. I'm familiar with Cole's work. He's the groundskeeper there at the Bay Oval. Fantastic groomer of grass. Do you know in another life I think I might become a groundsman?
What about that makes you feel like that'd be the...
Oh, the smoking weed part gets me excited. I feel like it's a job that I could do stunty.
Yeah.
Is that a landscaping myth? You feel like the type you strike me as the man like Mania Stewart that might have worked a few jobs in his time. Have you ever been a landscaper in a different life?
Never been in a landscaper. I found out pretty early in my life that these hands weren't meant for anything.
No.
Nah. I tried being a builder's hand.
Yeah.
Terrible.
No good.
Terrible. I was like, oh, happily, just put me in the office. These hands can type.
Okay. Well, Kyle Dovey, Lung, Pants Man, get in touch. Next one, yours please.
Oh, g'day, fellas.
G'day,
It's Lee from Napier here.
Lee.
So, I haven't caught up on the pod for the last week, so I'm not sure where Samosa Chat is at, but with the night day, they're doing $2 samosas every Tuesday for April. Can't comment on quality, but I saw it on the bloody window in the shop, so that's just a little from me to you. Enjoy. Thanks, mate.
You know, good message. We haven't actually spoken about the samosa in a while. I think that was last week's topic of conversation. We were trying to figure out the difference between a samosa, a poppadom. No, not really a poppadom. Like a, you know, those the family of deep fried.
Have you seen me, mate? I know that family very well.
Okay, this is your wheelhouse, is it?
Let me see. What are you trying to compare the samosa to?
Like a spring roll, a samosa. What else is there in that kind of deep fried, holding in cabbage and other pickled vegetable?
Oh, see, that's where I fall off the.
Oh, no, but you know what I mean. Like this is samosa. What else is there?
You got obviously dim sum, but that's meat. Wontons as well.
Dim sum came up. What's a dim sum?
Dim sum is pretty much a fried. I guess it's a bigger dumpling of some sort.
Yeah. Deep
fried, and it's a chunk of meat. Usually has your pork, or chicken, spring onion, mixed through it, and
the spring onion's good.
It's pretty much just a bigger dumpling.
Are you sweet chili saucing that bitch or no? How are you condimenting it?
Dim sum, I'll take raw.
Yeah.
Spring rolls, you got to hit it with a bit of heat.
Yeah. Okay. And that's like a sriracha or something of the like?
Sriracha, or sweet chili,
sweet
chili and
is
sour.
Good. Yeah, sweet and sour is also good. Okay. Well, there you go. If you want a couple of cheap samosas night and days, the place to head.
Yeah, geez, can't imagine.
Because you can get big ones, eh? You can also get a big samosa.
Yep. You get some pretty huge ones. I can't imagine the quality on. I don't want to speak out of Willa because I love me a bit of 9 day. Can't imagine the quality on a 9 day samosa would be that good.
Okay.
But 2 for what was it? $8?
I think it was even cheaper.
2 for.
Eve, do you have any idea what he said there? $2. Two for $2.
Oh, $2.
Wow.
Well, when you're paying that sort of price, you can't complain about quality.
No, you can't. Yeah. Are you getting the boxed ones or whatever though? Is that how you're eating them?
Like the good things, all good things in life, you got to buy a 3. So there's usually a 3 for whatever deal.
Oh, right. Even if you're buying them out of the freezer section at Woolies or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got to tackle them.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the deep fried cabbage family? Get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, next one. Yours, please.
Lads, for Great Roots New Zealand, you could probably do the old Lundy 500. See if you can go from Petone to Palmy, in that record time. Might be able to now with the transmission gully and all those bypasses.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, not done? Thanks for that. No, that's a great idea. Yeah. Are you familiar with our new podcast that we've started here, Isaac? The Great Roots of New Zealand, formerly known as Dudes Rooting, a podcast where we record our trip from A to B so you can sync it up with your travels.
Oh, you did the Tron.
Yeah, we went to Hamilton. I'm not sure why we did that. I think it was because, let's be honest, it was the easiest journey to do from work and just get the ball rolling on that series. Have you got any trips or routes that you wouldn't mind us covering? Well, something out west? You're a Westie.
I am a Westie. A trip out to deep Bethels would be a great
yeah.
Or trip out to Ranui.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's more just a vibe thing.
Yeah, you're
People
right.
out west move different.
Yeah.
Often referred to as munters.
Okay.
I don't see it. I just see just a bunch of people.
Right, dude.
But I actually wouldn't mind seeing up north to Paihia. About a 4-hour drive.
Yeah, we might have to split that up. Can we go Auckland to Whangarei and then Whangarei to...
Mangawhai?
Yeah?
Yep.
Mangawhai, yeah. Okay. But then again, you get in the... Yeah, I don't hate the Lundy 500. It's a long one, and we would have to split that up. I think an hour and a half is about what we're going to max out at. We did, and it took us about an hour 20 to get from here to Hamilton, and I have to say, by the end of it, we were just discussing what turns we were making at what intersections. So I think that hour long is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Mania pitched the idea yesterday that we do the Christchurch to Dunedin and then break that up into a few spots, because you can kind of do that between Ashburton and then further, down to Timaru and then Timaru to, I don't know.
Another idea.
And then
Rewa to Rewa. Manurewa.
Yeah.
To Orewa.
Yeah, for the For the boys?
Yep, south to north. Great trip.
Okay, we'll add that to the list. Next one. Yours, please.
I don't want to hear a bad word spoken about Colin Maiden Park.
Okay.
Auckland University Rugby Club, born and bred. Played like 2 years of under-13s there. And used to sneak into the portacoms when you guys would do the cricket there. Probably know you guys. I don't know if it was around the ACC's time, but Auckland Aces, go watch them for free. Sneak into the portacoms after the game, have some warm Heinekens and some half-eaten bags of chips. Wish they were snacky changies and wacky changies, but anyways, love you so.
No, sure, cheers, mate. Love you. Fuck yeah. That's coming off the back of the news that there was a divide announced between Auckland Rugby and Auckland Cricket and Eden Park. They're no longer going to be playing at Eden Park, so they're going to be moving their facilities out to Colin Maiden. Does Colin Maiden mean anything to you?
Nah.
No, so that's out east ways, I think. So that's out towards your St John's, your townhouse areas.
So cricket's getting moved?
Yeah, cricket and yeah. Yeah, so you don't have to overthink it, but they're just no longer going to play at the Oval at Eden Park. They're now going to go out to Colin Maiden Park, and we were saying that Colin Maiden's not, she's certainly not a first class level of ground. Maybe it will be one day, but I think we might have just been defaming Colin Maiden slightly yesterday, and that person there wanted to stand up for Colin Maiden after playing 2 games for the under-13s there, and then how he used to sneak into the portacoms. Are the portacoms those buildings that like those buildings that you drop? Not because when I first heard that, I just immediately went to Portaloos, but that's very different to a portacom, eh?
Yeah.
You quite often get those temporary buildings that people drop.
Like little towers, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Any experience in a portacom?
No experience in a portacom, but plenty of experience with the half-eaten bag of chips. Seems, I don't know, they're just stuck with me.
Have you ever only eaten half a bag of chips?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I have.
Right, okay,
All of those bags do start with party.
Yeah.
But can't get through a whole party bag by myself.
Right, okay.
So you got to save at least
It's fucking hard, though. I struggle to only do half a bag of chips. I can do the second half. You know what I mean? If I go into the... Because fucking drives me nuts. My partner's really good at just eating 2 bits of chocolate, then putting it back in the fridge. It's like, mate, if we're buying a block of chocolate, let's fucking demote the block of chocolate. Or we're buying a bag of chips. We're going to eat the bag of chips tonight. We're not going to just play this game of, oh, fuck, I might go and have a couple of chips while we watch. I don't know.
You strike me as a person to have the resealable pins.
I strike you as a person to have one of those, do I?
Yeah. Do you operate the resealable pins to keep it...
No, look, no. I've been known to use the clothes peg if times are desperate. But again, I'm not resealing many bags of confectionery or chips,
That's my thing. I think it's a disservice to chip companies if you don't have it at its freshest. So if you don't open up that bag and finish that bag, and you go back maybe the next day or a couple of days later to the rest of the bag, it's just never going to be that same quality. So that's why I just go through it all.
The issue that I often have as well is once I finish that bag at I don't know, 1, 2 a.m. I'm sending out a couple of texts trying to find another bag.
Are you when you finish a bag of chips and you got chip dust all over your fingers, do you suck or do you just wipe it off?
I mean, that's an intimate question. I think I suck that shit, man.
Oh.
What are you doing? You just wiping that off on your trouser leg?
I just wipe it off on my shorts.
Do you? Do you? Okay. That's slightly perverted.
Shit, we've learned
but you're right,
here.
But then if you do that, you can't dust it off, or you can't wipe on your trouser leg and then go for the suck.
Yeah, nah.
Because
definitely.
then you're going to have a little bit of, I don't know, shrapnel from your day
But
then stuck to you. Not good. And I have been there before. But I think I just tend to suck nice and deep. And then, go about my business.
I did not like that.
You didn't enjoy that?
Nah, not at all. Next, please.
Yeah, g'day fellas. Having to resubmit this one after I sent it in over Easter, but it seems to have gone missing. Anyway, calling up actually weirdly enough in support of G Lane around the whole Mana Keynes stuff. I listened to the Between Two Beers podcast with Liam Messam the other week, and Messam, who's probably the cheekiest of all chiefs, did say you have to earn your mana daily. So that should be the end of it. Up to 25.
There is something about someone like Liam Messam saying you've got to earn your mana daily that I do understand. But look, I think anything that we can wind up G Lane around is is something that we need to hold sacred here. He spends most of his time tormenting, harassing those around him.
Yeah.
I think we've just got to stick with this. We've got to stick to our guns. We've got to understand that spreading the mana around is really upsetting him. And the mana canes, I haven't seen anything impact him as much as this mana canes initiative that's been coming out of the south of the North Island in quite some time.
Yeah, but my thing is, you got to wake up every day and earn your mana.
Okay, Liam.
What does that look like? I'm struggling to find out.
Oh, right. Okay, so you don't know what that looks like. I thought you might have an answer for me, but that's a rhetorical kind of bigger picture question.
Oh, is that what?
Is that what you're suggesting? What does earning your mana look like?
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Is it just
what's mana to you, Isaac?
It's a way of living, of course. But is it the little wins? Is it waking up and making your bed? A little bit of mana there.
Yeah. Can you accumulate mana? Does it compound? Does mana compound?
Is it like RP in GTA respect points where you steal a car 50 plus? Obviously, not stealing.
I think there's something there. And is there a correlation between stealing a car and mana points? Is that what you're asking? Your words, not mine. I want to make that very clear.
I'm just saying, if you did get mana points for stealing a car, well then, geez, Ram Raiders must be walking around the most mana-est people of all time. But I'm just saying, what does actually earning your mana every day look like? Because I'd love to know so I can get my mana up.
Well, I think you've got plenty of it. There was an initiative that Joe Jury and I wanted to start, and that was this idea of a mana stick. You know how you've got the Ranfurly Shield in fucking Union, and then in Super Rugby we wanted something similar, and we also wanted to undermine and undercut the Waikato in the mana that the Chiefs so rightly feel like is all theirs. We wanted to say, if you can go to someone that has the mana stick, you then have the mana. So, if the Crusaders, when they beat the Chiefs, or whatever, I can't even remember what the mana stick is right now, but you take the mana stick and you bring it back. Is that earning your mana?
Yeah. Oh, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily that the team itself has the mana, but they are in possession of the mana.
Yeah, so you got to try win that back.
Real cool.
Yeah, we do float on grounds.
Got a wild way of looking at it, yeah.
I remember I commentated the Drua, and I'm struggling to remember, but they played for a shield. I think it might have been Drua and Blues, and they played for a shield that was a carver bowl. And Blues ended up dusting him off, taking him the carver, and that felt a bit wrong to me. So is this the same sort of situation?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. We do have to be careful. The argument is, and I understand the argument, as a Cantab it does hurt, but there are a lot of people saying that I don't know if Canterbury can be earning a mana, can be, what it would be the most Canterbury thing ever actually to say that they've gone and just yanked the mana stick off.
Yeah.
However they desire. Anyway, just keep it going. Mana Canes is really doing some damage to G-Lane mentally, and I think we should all do whatever we can to hold on to that for some time, because there's not many things you can get over G-Lane.
Absolutely.
And anything to make him the victim for just a small moment in time is a positive. Anyway, next one, yours please.
Very sorry, part 3. If G-Lane got a Swan Dry and rode a hobby horse around Takaha Stadium, that would be fucking gold. That would create world peace amongst Super Rugby franchises, all with one common enjoyment to spite the Crusaders fans in their own new fancy stadium. Just do it, please.
Okay, this is interesting. I'm not sure if we're about to hear part 2 and then part 1 in reverse order here. I was in charge of accumulating the yours pleases today, so you'll rest assured it'll be far less structured than what it is when Joe Jerry organises it all. But if we can just take this yours pleaser, as is, as a one-off, even as a Cantab, I'd pay money to see G-Lane on a hobby horse run around the outside of Tikaha Stadium.
I'd pay money just to see him on a hobby horse.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, it's not the type of thing G-Lane would enjoy doing. It's the type of thing that would he'd wake up the following day with a few demons, for sure.
Is that disrespectful to the Cantabs, or is that disrespectful to the horses?
I don't know. We were saying yesterday that there's been more uproar about the fucking Crusaders horses falling by the wayside than there has been about Moana Pacifica.
Yeah, well,
falling apart as
bloody CEO was on camera almost about to cry.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I saw that video. And then
sad times.
Very sad times.
And no one yet is still talking about the Port Kelly Motor Company girls. I don't understand why there hasn't been a CEO crying, almost crying, about the fact that we've lost the Paul Kelly Motor Company girls, and I feel like the new stadium should be christened by the Paul Kelly Motor Company girls.
Absolutely.
Anyway, next one, yours, please.
Part 2. Sorry about that. Look, I get why everyone's sceptical of the Manikanes making it past the quarterfinals due to recent history, but how can you not like the way they play? Like, it's good-looking rugby.
Yeah, it is.
It's what you want rugby to be. It's the fun you have before you settle down for your missionary with the Crusaders at the end of the season. It's going to be part 3.
Yeah, well said. Well, let's see if the next one is part 1, if that's all right, Evan, then we'll come back to this.
Few items on the Yours Please agenda from me.
Here we go.
See what I did there. Firstly, to the guy on the Yours Please earlier in the week who said, name me one suburb of Wellington that has mana. How about the suburb Mana, just north of Porirua?
Okay.
Seems like a pretty,
It's a literal approach.
obvious answer. This maybe has to be a two-parter.
Yeah, I feel like him pronouncing it Mana kind of took away from his point there.
Yeah, it did. I'm trying to have a look and see where Mana is. Okay, that's fine. So we've heard his... Sorry, by the way, contributor. You didn't deserve to be done in reverse order there, but it still made sense, strangely enough. What was part 2? That was about... I can't even remember. What was part 2? Can you play part 2 again, Ev?
Part 2. Sorry about that. Look, I get why everyone's sceptical of the Manikanes making it past the quarterfinals
shut it
due to
down.
recent
Beautiful
history.
rugby.
Yeah, it's the beautiful rugby. It's the nice rugby. Yeah, it is. So there's been Matt Heath especially, and I too have been running this line that the Hurricanes can be as good as they want, but they're just going to inevitably lose in the semi-final to a missionary playing team.
Yeah.
But he's totally right. It's a lot like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of other examples that, yeah, he is right. The way that they play rugby, there's far more champagne footy happening. They're spreading it wide. It's fast moving. Ruck speed's there. It's not this ground and pound approach that the Crusaders are going to inevitably take deep into the season and quite potentially win yet another Super Rugby title after being slightly dire for most of the season. But yeah, you're right. If we are going to sit here and go that there's a right way to play rugby, that would be it. But I'm always skeptical around anyone that says, oh, there's a right way to play this game and a wrong way to play this game.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to, well, just sport. There's so many different ways teams could play. And while it does look flashy, it does look fun, so does the draw.
Yeah,
so
that's
does the
right.
draw, just bashing down the doors, giving out to their high flyers.
Mm-hmm.
To say one team's game is prettier than the other.
It's a hard argument to have, isn't it? I totally agree though. The Hurricanes do play a nice form of rugby. I think a lot of that comes down to Cameron Wiegard, the fact that he's an absolute freak. But yeah, anyway, thanks for those 3 parts.
Yeah, it's your trilogy.
That was nice. Jeez, it felt a little bit like watching The Lord of the Rings too.
Yeah.
When was the last, have you watched The Lord of the Rings?
I watched the second movie maybe earlier on this year.
You just thought, I'm going to crank up the second Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Is that the walking one?
Yeah.
Where you got the twins on the back of the tree for most of the movie?
Yes.
They just walk
Well,
for ages.
I can't do the world building in the first movie.
Oh, it's a bit
too long.
Yeah.
Let me get some Mackie.
You don't feel like all the names sound too similar? Like I never read The Lord of the Rings. It'll be a surprise to absolutely no one that I didn't read them. But like there's just like a lot of Saruman sounding names, and I can't keep up.
Sauron, yeah.
Sauron.
Yep.
Well, there's 2, I suppose. But yeah. Anyway, what's the headline of the second one? Is there a big moment in there?
Oh, jeez.
How did you find it?
See, I can't even remember.
But it didn't get you fired up enough to go, fuck it, let's watch the third?
Nah, never.
The third one ends about 4 times.
I think I've seen an alternate ending to the third one.
No,
Or maybe it's the second one.
I think they've just put alternate endings into the third one. That's crazy, man. Like that final, whatever the fuck it is, that final battle of wherever they are, I don't even know. They, in that movie, for like 45 minutes, it's just old mate Bilbo's, not Bilbo, who's the other guy? Frodo just saying goodbye to everyone that he's ever met. It's like Peter Jackson, all right, mate.
It's quite the journey, but yeah, I'm with you. I never really read the Lord of the Rings book. I was always the kid in the corner going through the Guinness World Records and Captain Underpants.
Captain Underpants. Geronimo Stilton?
Yeah. Geronimo Stilton. Where's Wally took a lot of my time.
Asterix Comics?
Yep. Asterix Comics, great. But yeah, Lord of the Rings never quite tickled my fancy.
No, that's fair. Where do you sit on the Hobbit?
Nah,
no good.
Just no.
No
I love Smeagol. So
You're
anything,
big Smeagol guy.
anything with Smeagol, I find him hilarious.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Next one. Yours, please.
Hey fellas, you wanted sayings from commentary that really trigger you. Mine is, good evening team, welcome to the Export Beer Garden Studios. My name is Thin Caddy. God, that triggers me every single fucking time.
Well,
I
that's
almost have to turn the fucking radio off. Righto, hooroo.
Okay, well that's upsetting.
Well, shit, we spoke earlier about me being racially profiled in the office, but I've never heard a piece of audio that's just made me feel in agreement.
Oh, right, okay.
Very
So,
relatable.
yeah, right.
Thanks for sending that in, mate.
Yeah, no, nice. Thanks for that.
Pisses me off every single time as well.
That's massively backfired, that initiative we're trying to keep moving there. Next one, yours, please.
Craig here from IHeartradio again.
Jesus, Craig.
I'm in the shed still.
No.
There is a beer fridge. No cans of Export Ultra, but I do have a bottle. Bless.
Okay, no, that's... The fuck is that?
Was he?
Yeah, no, there's an investigation that needs to be launched into this man. We've heard from him for the last couple of days now. He's been hiding out in his shed for whatever reason. He was...
Outdoor boys.
There were allegations that his partner was inside trying to file some kind of police report. Like, it's not good whatever's going on there, so I don't know if we should just give that... maybe we need to just suffocate him out a little bit and not give him the time that he's after.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Why is he so, why is he so in there?
Shit, must be a small shed.
It must be a small shed. Next one. Yours, please.
G'day, fellas. Adam from Melbourne, back again. Been a couple of weeks. Just touching on my previous message, I would love G Lane to impart his curse on the Collingwood Football Club. Well hated. Nice to hear another AFL. Yours, please. Last week. What about Daryl Mitchell, the laser cock, stepping away from that Pakistani bowler that pauses? That's alpha. More of that, please. Rebels mana.
Yeah, great message. Cheers. The Daryl Mitchell thing, that was funny. That's classic Daryl Mitchell. I've been lucky enough to interview him a couple of times. He is definitely the type of guy that would have thought about doing that before going out there. The first part of that message, AFL. I saw Collingwood bet my beloved Carlton Blues last night. AFL mean anything to you, Isaac?
Nah.
No. Okay, that's fair enough. We'll move on from that. But yeah, if you want to organise that in an official capacity, ads, you pay for, you know the drill. You pay for flights, accommodation. You can get G-Lane over there in a Collingwood jersey, and the reverse curse will no doubt be sorted pretty quickly. But you're just going to have to go through the admin yourself. We don't have facilities here to take care of that.
Lads, you keep banging on about how no one turns up to the Hurricane, and then you keep banging on about how New Zealand stadiums are too big and they should be smaller. Can you pick a fucking lane? Is it a Hurricane supporters problem or a stadium size problem? One thinks it could be a stadium size problem. Either way, pick a fucking lane.
Wait, yeah, no, fair, but can it not be both? Can we not meet in the middle? I think it's a thing, yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. And by the way, I think we say that about pretty much everyone.
Every stadium.
By the way. It's not just, I understand you feel targeted down there at the moment for what we're saying about the Hurricanes inevitably falling out of a semi-final to a missionary Crusaders side, whatever. But I think it's an issue that every stadium's got, is all our big stadiums that Super Rugby is being played in, it's just too humiliating.
Too big. Yeah.
Just too big. But that's we totally understand that, fuck, man, I don't know. How many people can you expect to get to a game of Super Rugby? If we're being super... You understand that even we're never going to sell out.
Yeah, never.
A mid-season Eden Park. We just need to shut that down. We're never going to sell out a mid-season or an early season fucking cake tin. That's okay. But I think if we could somehow find a way to meet in the middle. But we also are just trying to say shit to fill up the week. So you got to understand that. The contradictions is what keeps us moving. It's what gives us an hour of content a day.
Yeah.
Which is what we're contractually obliged to hit. Quite often we'll come about 20 minutes under that, but that's okay. That's a problem for us to sort out later on with our clients.
Another thing, though, well, we have one team that plays at a small stadium, QBE, North Harbour Stadium.
Yeah.
They're gone next year.
Yeah. How did that go?
So I don't even know if the stadium size has anything really to do with it.
Well, that's right. You've got lights turning off halfway through the second half.
That was the first actual sign.
It was the first sign, wasn't it? It was a metaphorical.
Yeah, it was like, see this? This is going to happen full time next year.
I'm sure it wasn't Tana Umaga himself that just went up there and said, fuck this. I've heard whispers. Let's turn the lights off now. Were you commentating that game? Was that the game that you were covering?
No, that was G Lane and Tony Lyle,
because they then fired up a live stream from
the greatest that was if you were to picture the G Lane curse, it was that night, and that was in real time.
Okay, right.
They fired up the Warriors game.
Yeah.
Waz were up, I believe, maybe 2 tries against the Tigers. They see the Tigers run in 2 or 3 tries before halftime. They say, you know what, we're going to give, I believe he was getting hate messages sent through, so he's like, okay, we'll put that one on ice, we'll go over and we'll, international football, I think.
The All Whites were playing. Yeah, that's right.
And then they see, was it?
Conceded that goal to Finland or something, or I can't remember who they were playing.
2-0. Yeah, they saw 2 goals get
there
scored.
Was that last minute goal that they then conceded to really put the nail in the coffin for the All Whites in that first international game.
And then they just called it a night from there.
Yeah, that's not good. But shout out to the guy, whoever it was from Moana Pacifica, who was firing up the live stream off his iPhone for the world to watch.
Yeah.
Did you tune into that live stream at all? Because I did it out of interest. I was at home going, why the fuck am Moana Pacifica live right now on Instagram? And it's it's the fucking game.
Was it Ben O'Keefe in the comments?
No, was he in the comments?
I think it was. Oh, maybe I'm imagining, but I think he was in the comments explaining some of the calls as they're happening. Because obviously they can't hear anything from the actual commentators. So people were watching it live, and Ben O'Keefe was just explaining what calls were being made and why.
What, just having the boys back out there?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, respect it, whatever. Okay, next one, yours please.
Well, Mashy asked a dumb question, so I got a dumb answer.
Uh-oh.
Why does your number 3s go sticky in the shower? Because it's like egg. It's basically egg. And when it gets hot, the proteins unravel, and it cooks like egg. So you know the whites of an egg? When that gets hot, the proteins that are tightly wound unravel, they stick together, and it turns into a big solid lump of white egg. Now, you nut in the shower, that's exactly the same as what happens to that. You basically cooked your jizz. Bon appetit.
Has anyone got anything?
I don't even know how to unpack that.
No, I forgot we talked about that.
Are you fucking jerking off in the shower?
No, I'm not, because I'm staying at the in-laws, so can we not talk about that? I was having an off-air conversation with Tony Lyle when he decided to bring it on air. And I was asking a hypothetical, from what I've heard, is why does it turn into some kind of PVA type glue when it hits hot water? Next one. Yours, please.
Hey, you winners.
G'day, boy.
Here from England. Curtin Beale was born January 1989 and is currently 37 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Muppets.
Okay.
Shit, big. Was that Curtly Beale?
Yeah, well, we're talking about how the Force have got this team from 2015 because they've got George. What's his name? The Crusaders boy, George Bridge, is it?
Can't recall off the top of my head.
I've just had a mind fuck. I can't even. Yeah, Hot Legs Houlihan, whatever his name is. It's actually left me. It doesn't matter. He's playing on the wing for them or whatever, and Curtly Beale's still playing.
Yeah,
and it's like watching. You every time you hear the commentators sing out Curtly Beale's name, you go, "Hang on, what? For what fucking year is this?"
Yeah, and obviously big Curly Beale fan.
He's not as old as I thought he would be.
37.
Yeah,
he does still uphold. I've always said this: the ugliest man in Super Rugby. And I've said it for a long time. I'm not a looker myself, so I feel like I'm well qualified to be throwing out these accusations.
Yeah,
I know I'm not a looker, but geez, Curly Beale, one ugly dude.
I think he just also looked 37 when he was 17.
That's my thing. Yeah, exactly that. He came in young, and he still looked just as old as he is now.
Yeah, that's right. Next
geez,
one.
Weird hill to die on.
Yeah, hard. Next one, yours, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the iHeartradio. It's Andrew from Napes here. I'm watching the Adelaide Crows versus the Carlton Blues. Fucking Carlton. Have we missed a trick? Like, we got short fellas who can run, we got tall fellas who can jump, just like rugby. Should we convert to AFL now? before we get overtaken in rugby. Fuck, Super Rugby's boring.
You know, AFL's a good game, and it does make sense. I don't know why we haven't had more people playing it. We just don't have the grassroots AFL going on over here, so no one can really get into it young enough, can they? But it's the type of sport that you see people taking up, late career. Like, they've got that big Mason Coxey who plays for the Magpies, who's that absolute unit that just came over from basketball. And there's a couple of like specific positions, I think, that if you're good at other things, you could translate over to it, eh?
Yeah, I can't ever see Australia overtaking us in rugby, though.
I don't think so, just because their priorities are elsewhere.
Yeah, league, hey, they can have that. They've had it, they can have it, they'll continue to have it. But union, nah.
No. Have you ever sat down to watch a full game of AFL?
No.
It's quite interesting, the game of AFL. I love it. I played it for a while with the aforementioned Notorious Pants Man here at the Uni Blues, ironically at Colin Maiden Park that we spoke about earlier as well. Dangerously firm outfield. Like, Jesus, late in the season towards those summer months, it is fucking rock hard.
Oh, yeah.
But, no, it's a good game, AFL, and you're right. It would be quite good to see a couple of Kiwis get in there. We've had a couple of Kiwis in there. Fucking Toddy Campbell, Pixie Campbell, content director at Radio iHeart. He always tries to wound me about someone that was from NZ. I mean, someone will be able to... Wait, wasn't it Big Dustin? Dustin, someone?
It's probably...
Someone will know. You'll know what I'm talking about there, Andrew from Napes. By the way, you sound steamed as shit and sounds like you haven't got off the lazy boy for the last 3 weeks.
I'd imagine there'll be a bunch of Kiwis who have played in
Kiwis playing AFL. God, how long have we been recording? We're going on a bit here, aren't we? Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, there's a couple of boys. Yeah, Dustin Martins, that's the one that I was thinking of, that Richmond boy. Rowan Marshall, Grace Brooker, playing for the AFLW. Shout out, Grace. Ange Stannett, playing for Fremantle in the AFLW, born in Hamilton, NZ. And Jasmine Garner, North Melbourne, AFLW. Ladies represent, good shit.
So we're killing it in the AFLW.
Anyway, next one, yours, please.
Yeah, g'day. Just following up from my message the other day. Why is it that Crusaders fans seem to have a mental block on any other team winning the comp other than them? Now, I know Chiefs fans will remember, but Blues won Super Rugby only 2 years ago. Yet I was talking to a Crusaders fan who had to Google it to believe me.
You know, this is the thing. I'm guilty of this as well. Massively guilty of this. As we remove any season that we don't do well from our... Yeah.
But when you've won that much, you can justify it, though.
Well, I think that's probably the sad truth of it, is that we are used to winning. So when something happens that's not normal, that feels strange. It doesn't really sit right with us. But yeah, that I'm very familiar with that dynamic, and I've also been found guilty of doing a very similar thing often. Was that the year that Rob Penny first came in? What did he say? 2 years ago?
2 years ago, the Blues won, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm guilty of it as well for Parramatta. However...
Massively successful franchise.
Yeah, back in the 80s. Haven't won a chip since the 80s, so I can't even think of anything, so I've been blocking out my whole life.
Have you? That's a sad sentence. What was the most successful season you've had in your lifetime?
Was 3 or 4 years ago we made it to the grand final and just got the
the grand final.
We just got belt to ass from Penrith, and yeah, that was actually probably says a lot about my life. That was probably one of the lowest points I've ever been in my life, was watching that final.
Right. What was the score?
They put like 30 on us off the top of my head, or maybe we ran in a couple late tries, but it was definitely a hiding.
And that was 3 years ago.
Maybe 4.
Yeah, because was it 3 years ago that or 2 years ago that we'd lost Reece Walsh at the Wars, and then he went to play for the Broncos, and then we'd made the top 8, and then he knocked us out with a couple of forward passes on the wing, and then fucking...
I think that was 3 years ago.
And that was
Reece
3
Walsh.
years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck that. Next one. How many more have we got, Eve? We've got 2 more. Let's bust through these. Next one, yours, please.
I'd just like to say that the old Yours Please is making a great comeback. Almost half the show nowadays is dedicated to it. Well
the
done,
full
guys.
show.
He's in for a treat.
Good work. And just on the old wontons, fuck, there's nothing worse when you're ordering your noodle canteen, you got your hot box, your sweet box, your honey chicken fried rice,
yeah,
and you order 12 wontons, go halvesies with the missus, to find them. And they forget half of them. and then your missus eats all your wontons. Fucking nut work.
I gotta be honest, man. I got distracted halfway through your messages. You were getting pulled over by the police, but what was he saying?
He was saying nothing worse than when you order a dozen wontons.
Yeah.
You get home, check everything. You're going to go halves with your missus, 6 apiece, but then they only give you 6 wontons, so your missus ends up eating them.
Fuck. Specific, but I feel you. I can imagine that being a painful thing that I haven't lucky. Feel so fortunate that I've never gone through something like that. Do you know what does piss me off though? Is when you order food and like you know what you want, and it's like I'm getting this because this is what I need right now. I'm gonna get this, this, and this. I'm gonna get like Indian, for example. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get the bhaji because I like a bit of bhaji, and I'm gonna get, and then this kind of blasé approach that your partner might have, where when it all arrives, that we might be sharing it.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So this is not what's happening here. Yep. You don't get to try half of my naan. I'm mentally prepared for a full naan. Like that's what I was getting excited for, was indulging in a full naan and a full serving of bhaji and a butter chick. Mild.
Well, mild, of course. Don't want to blow your head off. But I definitely see where you're coming from. I think it might just be a girlfriend thing. Maybe girls just feel a bit entitled to.
Interesting take for sure.
Your food.
Yeah, if you want to die on this hill, go hard.
But you know,
yours, brother.
God, I love women.
Yep.
Genuinely, I think it's they feel entitled to sharing because you ordered it together. Yeah. But I definitely get where you're coming from, because when I order,
can I have a sip on your drink? No.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, babe. This is my drink. Like I love you, but this is I got this drink. When I went into the gas station, I said to you, "Do you want anything?" And you're like, nah."
That's where I draw the line. There is when you ask, "Hey, do you want anything?" They say no, and then you see the little fingers going. You see them licking their lips, staring at my 2-liter Mountain Dew. I want to drink my fucking Mountain Dew by myself. I asked you if you wanted anything.
Your party bag of whatever it might be.
My party bag of Doritos that I'm definitely not going to finish in one hit.
Okay, final one of the day. This has been fun. Yours, please.
Hey guys, Mitch here from Raglan. Long time listener, first time caller.
Sure, boy.
I just wanted to say, we love you guys. I listened to the last agenda, and you're saying that we all hate you. No, it's not true. We only bag you because that's what you guys love, you know? You asked for, and that's what you get. So, love you, and I guess.
Oh, that's sweet. That's a nice message.
That's a good way to finish.
That is a nice way to finish. I think that might be coming. I think we mentioned there was a couple of yours pleases that came through on an episode last week. It was on a Wednesday, and it was after a big night out in Wellington. And the love yous, fuck yous, or the fuck you, Mashy, or the fuck you, G-Lane, it's a little bit harder on the come downs. And we may or may not have said, God, you guys are mean to us. We didn't mean it.
Oh,
we know there's a lot of love in this space. We know there's love between all of us here at the Agenda and amongst the Agendarati. So that's a very nice way to end that podcast. But we assure you, we're aware of the love.
Yeah, great way to finish. Great message. We do need to talk about what device this person sent this message in on.
Like it was some kind of...
Geez, I swear the comms on the moon landing were clearer than that message just then.
What was the phone being used, do you reckon? Is it 210? Nokia 210?
Maybe a Samsung Galaxy S2?
Fuck, I did some dangerous work on...
S3 would have been... Would an S3 been
I did some good work on the S3 also, but I'm taking you back even further, the Sony Ericsson. Do you remember the Sony Ericsson, the flip-top thing? That was a nice phone. Did you have the BlackBerry ever?
No, couldn't afford the BlackBerry.
Neither. I was always an Android kid because the iPhones were too out of our realm. But then I suppose iPhones came in later on.
I think they were around, but the original iPhone was maybe 2007?
Jesus Christ, really?
Oh, I could be way off.
I was an iPod Touch kid, man.
iPod Touch.
Yeah, my parents would give me the Nokia 210, and then I'd save up for the iPod Touch, and that was kind of my smartphone right up till about 2016.
Oh, shit.
That was a good life to live, to be fair.
Yeah.
I should go back to it. I got into much less trouble then. Anyway, thank you very much for your messages today. Cheers, Ev, on the buttons. Cheers, Isaac. Appreciate it, mate. What do you got on this weekend? Anything exciting?
This weekend, just Got my nephew's rugby league tournament.
Okay, you go easy on that ankle of yours.
Oh, yeah, fresh out the moon boot.
Weren't you playing volleyball with your nephew or something, and that's how that ended up happening?
Yeah. So
Okay, so just maybe leave the footy to him.
Nah, time to get my get back. Run it straight, me and my nephew.
Oh, I love you as fuck. It's just for your messages. Do not forget tonight we have coverage, if you are listening today. It's Friday. We've got coverage of both games of primetime footy coming to you live and free from the Export Beginner Studio, so tune in 7 o'clock. If you do want to sync us up officially and properly with the Sky Sport Now coverage, just text SYNC to 3236 and we send you all the information to make sure that you can listen to us without us spoiling the game. We realise that does sometimes happen if you just put us on iHeartradio and then fire up your Sky Now, that we might be about 20 seconds ahead. So we have given and designed a way. We haven't. A cousin of mine has, after a conversation, 48 beers deep at a wedding, has figured out a way to be able to pause the iHeart stream. Anyway, just text SYNC again to 3236 and join us for some Super Rugby coverage. Otherwise, hopefully we get a podcast back from Hong Kong at some stage. G-Lane, Joe Jury, but no guarantees. Finally, before we love you and leave you though, this weekend we do have a bit of a blast from the past, a podcast series. Are you familiar at all, Isaac, with Peter Plumley Walker?
No. Heard the name.
Peter Plumley Walker was a famous cricketing umpire who passed away after a couple of nights spent, after recruiting a teenage dominatrix to kind of fulfill a few of his needs. Flash forward a few hours, he ends up at the bottom of Hooker Falls down there in, just north of Taupo.
Yeah, jeez.
And there was a massive lawsuit carried out around that. Myself, Matt Heath and Jeremy Wells back in the day on the Hauraki Breakfast did a big investigation into this. It was a 4-part investigation telling you everything you need to know about the most famous cricket umpire, I think, in New Zealand history. That's fair to say. So if you are looking for something to fill in your time this weekend, while there are a lack of podcasts as the boys are away overseas, dial those up. If you have listened in the past, it's worth listening to again. I was re-editing them, and there's some interesting stuff in there. But again, the story of Peter Plumley Walker and how he reached the end of his life after recruiting a teenage dominatrix is going to be available from tomorrow, and that is going to be an episode a day until Tuesday next week. We happy with that? Everyone's happy?
Good, yeah.
Okay, you're happy?
Very.
Should we go for a beer?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. All right.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.